Hello everyone and happy Friday. I hope your weekend is off to a great start. I'm really looking forward to the show tonight. Got the Matches Memorial Savinelli tonight, Haunted Bookshop, what else? And yeah, we're ready to get going. So let's see. We've already got a great crowd. Our guest tonight is Greg Tunnell from the Tunnell Take. Really looking forward to getting to know Greg a bit better, and I saw that he's actually out there in the chat room. So welcome, Greg, and we'll be getting to you in about 15 minutes or so. Just let the room fill up a bit. And let's see who we've got here tonight. We've got Boris the Piper, Armchair Piper, Desert Pine Piper, lots of pipers. St. David Pipes, Steph and Skip. How you doing, Steph? Joe Art DZ, Perique Piper, Skip. Hey, Skip, are you coming to us from an undisclosed location? Drop Bear Woodworks, how you doing? Andrew Galloway, Dude Rustica, hello Steve. Signal Man Tony from Rhode Island, hello Tony. Everett Young, Paul the Piper, good to see you, Paul. Aussie Piper, hello Mick. There is a technical issue. What is the technical issue, Paul? Paul, well guys, I'm going to just keep going. Let me know if there's something wrong though. Scott, 16th day. Hello, Scott. Todd Nichols. Tamper J. How you doing, Jim? Volunteer Piper. Hello there. Stonehenge Minstrel. Southwest Aficionado Micah. How you doing, Micah? Bona Piper. Christian, I hope you don't see an issue. Corvette Jim. JMZ, I think I got you already. Timber Drifter. Boy, names are going by fast and furious here. It's okay. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for watching out for us. I appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, I saw some earlier chatter about folks wearing a coat and tie. And in Steve's case, that was all he was wearing. We're not formal here. Don't scare Greg. He's gonna think we're gonna have high expectations. We actually have no expectations. Michael Case, Hoyo de Monterrey, Excalibur, nice box press too. Jeff the Chef Piper, how you doing, Jeff? Jack Kurtz, hello Jack. Good to see you, buddy. Kilted Piper, Steve, and Miss Kathy. Hello, guys. Yeah, I can't keep up either. This is this is great. This is great. Portsmouth Piper, hello, my friend. How are you doing? And how's Miss Charlotte? Miss Charlotte is safe and sound at home now, I understand. Be sure to take a minute and congratulate the new dad. Pipes and Bees, hello. Tim Fournier, hello Tim. Prince Albert is indeed mellow. Matt the Irish Piper, picking and piping, hello. Mon Claude Gansdam, hey Mike, how you doing? I got it right that time. Hello Chip, good to see you. Pipe time, you overdressed, that's okay. You don't need to wear a shirt, Jim. As long as you got the tie, you're okay. Good point, Piper on the 45. Good point. That's why we don't do video. Oh, so I'm really happy it's Friday. Another long week. And of course, we got a nice long weekend here in the States, at least. It's Memorial Day weekend. Is that right? Yeah. So we got off Monday, I got off Monday, which is nice. And of course, the rain has come in starting today and will continue until probably Tuesday. Tim smoking his rusticated design Berlin with Prince Albert. Nice. Yeah, Michael Case, we're not going to use the S word around here. That's just terrifying. And I am enjoying another whiskey tonic tonight. Oh, thank you, Tim. I'll have that playing in my head for the next several hours. To the 1970s, David? I don't think there were many folks running around in Speedos in the 70s. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I thought that was more of an 80s thing. Horizontal disposable tobacco burning device. Okay, Glenn. Everett's got some Pegasus and his Brigham 384. Good stuff. Don't worry, Greg. I have to say, I talked to Greg yesterday and a little bit earlier today, and I think Greg is actually nervous. So we're very friendly, Greg. There's nothing to worry about at all. Yeah, I got it, Drop Bear. I knew you were talking about a cigarette. Just playing with you. Squadron leader in a... Oh, Andrew, I'm gonna have to put my glasses on to... It's funny, some words I can read and some words I can't. Tripus freehand. Gotcha. Very nice, Andrew. Piper on the 45. Morley's best. I hear it's good stuff. I'm not going to repeat that, Mick. Couch. Ilva came home today. It scrolled past. Oh, sorry to hear that, buddy. Hope you're feeling better soon. Couch has been a little bit under the weather, guys. And XJ90X, how you doing, XJ? Good to see you this morning. Boris has got some H&H Burley and a Country Gent. Very nice, Boris. Scott, the 16th day, has some Haunted Bookshop and a Stanwell pot. Those pots are just a good friend to Burley blends. Talking to all your superheroes. That's funny, Greg. Oh, Timber Drifter, Kentucky Cheerroot on the porch. Can't beat that. JBHD's got some Billy Bud Blonde and a Bones Big Wave. I like Billy Bud Blonde. Not a fan of Billy Bud, but Billy Bud Blonde is tasty stuff. Hard to pronounce, but tasty stuff. Trying to film Tasmania. Not a small task there, XJ. Portsmouth Piper's got some H&H Pure Virginia in a cob. No, Mr. Beach, Greg is gonna be on in about 5 minutes. We're just warming up the room right now. And welcome, Mr. Beach. Yeah, picking and piping. I like it. Tobacco Pipes International. How you doing, Mark? Good to see you. And Smoking Kentucky Piper. Good evening to you, sir. So I mentioned earlier I'm smoking my, the Matches Memorial Savinelli here with some Haunted Bookshop. Later tonight, I'll switch over to, this is a Savinelli 622. And I'm going to be smoking in that so I've been enjoying this Stokeby Norwegian blend, but it was missing something, and I've added something to it, and I'll talk about that after we're done with Greg tonight. I'll tell you about it. But it's actually it surprised me. It's a very good combination I came up with. Hobbiton Piper, hello there. Good to see you. Matt the Irish Piper has some 2006 McBaron Mixture Scottish blend. The Rattray pipe. Sounds like it would be perfect. Nice turnout tonight for our buddy Greg. Yardism, how you doing, Chad? Good to see you tonight. Street Glide Piper, good to see you, buddy. It's got Haunted Bookshop in a jumbo. Good, very good. Volunteer Piper's got some Balkan Supreme and a Radice 55. Good stuff. And Mr. Beach has got some Bullseye and a Peterson 999 Dracula. Fantastic. Well, thank goodness somebody is killing the zombie stuff. We need more of that. Mr. Tolson, howdy to you, sir. Corvette Jim's got his Erickson poker with cherry cream flake. You like that, Jim? I hope you enjoy that. I mean, that's actually made another stop along the way. So that was actually given to me by Bona Piper several years ago. He's probably forgotten about it. And I kind of enjoyed it, and I've given a few samples here and there, and that was the last sample of it that I had. But I thought you might enjoy it. All right, so we got about a minute till quarter after, so we should go ahead and get ready. Brace yourself, Greg. We're about to start. We got a great guest tonight, guys, and probably doesn't need to be introduced, but it's Greg Tunnell from the Tunnell Take. Greg has one of the most interesting, honest, and thought-provoking channels, and you might even say at times provocative channels in the YTPC. I enjoy watching him. I'm sure many of you guys do, and my goal tonight is just to get to know the guy that Greg is a bit better. And of course, there'll be time after Greg and I chat for a little bit for you guys to ask questions in the chat. So let's go ahead and see if we can get Greg on the phone. And as always, let me know how the audio sounds once Greg starts talking.
Hello, Mike.
Hey, Greg, how you doing tonight?
I'm all right. Is it going to go down?
I think it's going to be just fine, but we'll get a thumbs up in about 30 seconds. So we'll just assume all is well.
On?
Yeah, you're on. You're on now.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's that easy. all you gotta,
Okay. That was simple.
all you got to do is answer the phone. So I want to start off by thanking you for joining us tonight. Really appreciate you taking out the time. And the way I usually start these things, just to kind of kick off the conversation and get us comfortable with one another, is to ask you if you would please tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Greg Tunnell. So that's where the name the Tunnell Take came from. About myself, I was born in Chesapeake, Virginia. My dad worked at the shipyard in Newport News, and we came down to North Carolina, where he was originally raised, to take over my dad's farm when I was about 9, and stayed here until I was about 40. And when I was about probably it was probably about 10 years old or so, and up into my 30s, my granddad owned a country store, which I hung around all the time when I was little. And there was the big stove, the big heater, in the center of there, and all the old guys were hanging all around there, had their benches all around it, and they would be smoking pipes and stuff. And when I guess it was about 40 years old. I reckon I'm 56 now. When I was about 40, I decided I wanted to try pipe smoking. Now I'm going to say them guys by that time had just about all died off, and all I was left with was just a memory of an aroma, really,
Uh-huh.
And so I bought a lot of pipes on a lot of the state pipes on eBay, just cheap stuff. I mean, hardly any of it had any name on it or anything, And the quest at that point was trying to find out what that aroma was that I was smelling. It was a pipe tobacco, but it was a matter of finding out which pipe tobacco that was. And I went through right many, and it would have to be Prince Albert. And so that's kind of like my main old tobacco that I associate pipe smoking with, put it that way, Yeah.
So let me ask you, was that something where, the first time you smoked it or the first time you smelled somebody smoking it, you said, aha, that's it? Or was it, kind of like that might be it?
Moment. That's for
really?
Sure. It was like, oh man, my search had ended at that moment,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was a really awesome thing. But I must say, the actual smoking of the tobacco was an issue with me. I don't like the heavy bowl smoke that comes out of the pipe that's close to my face. And I was never a cigarette smoker. I was never a smoker of any kind. And so I just kind of like laid down pipe smoking and pretty much figured, well, this just isn't for me, I guess, And about, I guess it's been about 6 or 7 years ago, I was at a Kiwanis National Convention. It was in Indianapolis, and in that convention center, it's a huge place. And on the other end of it, they have something like it's kind of like a Comic-Con type get together. And I went in there, and I see this Gandalf pipe, and it was like $20, $23 or something. And it said it was operational. I said, well, that'll get the smoke away from my face.
Yeah.
So I bought the thing, and that started me off on my long stem that I'm associated with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, and that did solve the problem in terms of the smoke in your face. But did it change the smoking experience in any other way? Like, some people say those pipes smoke cooler. Did you experience that?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Once I started smoking that, I would occasionally go back to the shorter pipes and like, thinking that I would grow accustomed to this bowl smoke, but I really never did. But I did notice that how the shorter pipes were a little hotter smoking. Of course, I was young and young pipe smoker. I didn't quite realize that you just need to slow down. You puff so hard. That's one of the biggest biggies, of it all. The smoke, being able to come up a long stem cools the smoke down right much. Of course, now when you do that, when you're pulling up a hot substance like smoke and the moisture from the tobacco and the humidity that's in the air, you're going to get a condensation on the inside of the stem, which creates more dottle,
Mm-hmm.
And but it is a cooler smoke, no doubt about it. And then I was puffing a little too hard. I didn't like the idea of a hot bowl. I'm a carpenter, so I'm always using tools. I'm a motorcycle rider, so I always got my hand wrapped around a hand grip, so my hands are always hot. and I just didn't like that, really, and then that kind of like threw me into thicker walled bowls. So that's how come the huge pipes that I smoke. So nothing's really out of any kind of historical purpose or anything.
Right.
I'm not a fond person of a church warden himself. I mean, but the pipe is a useful. It's operational to me.
Yeah. It's a tobacco smoking tool.
Excuse me?
It's a tool to smoke the tobacco.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it was important for that tool to work well for me. Yeah, right. Yeah, for me, And not everybody has this problem because a lot of people start off with cigarette smoking. Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty common. I didn't, but quite a few people use the pipe as a way to get away from it, and that's great.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but we're getting a little ahead. We'll get back to pipes and pipe smoking and all that, but I want to go back to, you talked about your grandfather's country store. Did anyone in your family smoke a pipe?
No, they didn't, and that is one thing that kind of rips me apart, because I would love to have a pipe of my dad's or granddad's or great granddad or something. I just didn't have anything like that. It was just all I was listening was an aroma that I knew I liked, and it was the quest was to find that aroma, and I did. And I found better tasting and smelling aromas of tobacco since then. Mm-hmm. But the Prince Albert, that was a really good feeling to find out, to smell that smell again from my childhood. Yeah. But there were some awesome days back in them days where country stores were everywhere. Every 5 miles or 10 miles in a very low populated area, there would be a country store. With a place to buy drinks and candy and crackers, and then watch all the guys sitting around. The Bible used to call the men at the gate, where they would sit around and chit chat.
Right.
And that was kind of like the gate, I guess, back in the late 70s. I guess that was, yeah. Huh.
And did I get this right that you moved because your dad actually took over a family farm?
Yeah. My dad really never. My dad was kind of like pushed into college because he was very smart and oriented. He was engineering oriented anyway, even from when he was a boy. I was talking to my granddad once about it, and my dad I think he felt pushed into that, and he just wanted to come back to the farm. And my granddad was getting a little bit older, but maybe there was some kind of labor issues or something at that time, or somebody that understood the math that has to go into farming these days, or not these days, but back in the late 70s. Mm-hmm. There was starting to be chemicals that had to be used in the proper ratios and stuff like that. And today, now it's like with all the spraying that goes on, you got to have your math right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what was that like growing up in that environment? On a farm with your dad taking that over and all.
It's kind of like my mom said. She said living here in this rural farming area, the closest McDonald's was 60 miles away, which is quite a stretch for the East Coast living. She said it made for rough life for parents because money was always an issue. But it made a great place to grow to raise children and watch your children grow up. And I must say I have to agree with that. I have 7 children, and we moved to Denver in 2006 to flip houses out there. And we did that for 2 years until the bubble popped. And living in the city opposed to living in the country, raising most, all of them in the country when they were real young, and then moving to the city when my oldest was about 16, and all the rest of them were under him. There was a isolation that happened with them that I didn't know that could happen in a city. Yeah, because you got your little lot, you got your quarter-acre lot opposed to the 2-acre lot that we were on, and then 40-acre pine plantation behind that I owned. So it was quite a shock. There was no more four-wheeler riding. I must say, when I did move into to Denver, I intentionally bought a house that backs up to a park so that boys could have plenty of place to run and play and throw their football and whatever, just to take the edge off of not country living anymore. So yeah, I had a pretty good country living life. There was a lot of swimming in old ponds and four-wheeler riding and frog gigging and all that good stuff.
Right. Sounds wonderful.
It was pretty good, I must say, looking back on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So let's talk a bit about your pipe smoking then. So you're an aromatic smoker, is that right?
I have smoked enough of the non-aromatics to know what I'm smoking pretty much, because I have tried to be as well-rounded pipe smoker, because I've always wanted to know what you guys are talking about. What is a dark fire Kentucky? You know what I mean?
Sure.
And not too long ago, Steve, Smoking Cardboard, he sent me about, I don't know how much tobacco he sent me, but a bunch of little samples of different things, and that helped a lot. And I had ordered a lot of tobaccos from pipes and cigars that were just like 1 ounce trial size type stuff, and they were like components of blends, because I wanted to know what does a pure Latakia, what does that taste like? Without any other blending components added in. I want to know I wanted to be able to smoke a tobacco and be able to say, okay, this is this much percentage Perique, this much percentage Latakia, this much percentage Cavendish or Dark Fire Kentucky or whatever, this much Virginias, and it's a little bit like Virginia, all the rest of it. So I dabbled in it enough, but it really never really caught into my core love for it, where my core love is still aromatics. Mm-hmm. I think it just goes back to that Prince Albert aroma thing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's good. I mean, you sort of you know what you like and you know why you like it.
Yeah, pretty much. I like to think so.
Yeah. And you do have the occasional English?
Gosh, English is kind of I probably like them the least.
Oh, okay. Because I thought I saw a video of you smoking like a Balkan blend or something. But...
Oh, now I must say I do like maybe I've got this all wrong. A Balkan blend is in English?
Oh God, there's so much argument over that, Greg. That no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't even remember what the definition is, but yeah, okay. So you enjoy a Balkan blend?
Well, I got Balkan Supreme one time, and because Tom, Northwest Pipe Smoker, talked about that all the time about a year or two ago. That's all he was smoking. I said, I've got to try this stuff. Mm-hmm. And that right there was one thing that made me want to start trying these the other Balkans, the other Englishes, the non-aromatics, all that.
Mm-hmm.
And the Balkan Supreme, when I first smoked that, I was like, wow, now this is an adult tobacco. This right here isn't some dessert tobacco, And yeah, I knew I'd found something that was quite amazing. There's several Balkan Supremes out there now. I don't know if was Stokkebye's the first Balkan Supreme? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But it seemed like they sold that to Harango or something. I heard.
Yeah.
But Pipes and Cigars has their own Balkan Supreme, and I've been trying many different Balkan Supremes, and I remember watching Phil's Cellar, Phil, that guy,
Uncle Phil,
about 2 months ago, I guess.
Uh-huh.
He was talking about how some companies are taking the Balkans and they're adding Cavendish to it, so they'll be cheaper to make.
Ah.
And I've been noticing that a lot of these Balkans are sweeter Balkans, and they don't have that full pop of quality that you taste in a Balkan in the original Balkan Supreme. To me,
Right. It's interesting. I don't often get to talk to guys that would define themselves as aromatic smokers, and I appreciate that. That's a perfectly fine thing to do. I'm not. I'm personally not a guy that likes a lot of aromatics, but I'm curious. When I smoke them, there are some that I say, okay, this is good. I could smoke this again, and then there are some that I just find to be unsmokable. Just because of the chemical nature of the toppings and things like that. Do you, as somebody that primarily smokes aromatics, do you see those differences? Like, do you find some that you just don't like and some that you do, or are they all pretty okay to you?
I've heard that thing before about people talking about a cherry tasting like a chemical NyQuil type cherry. I have not ever sensed that, because I guess it's because I'm such a fan of sweets anyway. I can count on one hand how many bottles of water I drink in my life, because I drink sodas, and maybe it's just my makeup.
Yeah.
The only thing I've ever seen that I didn't like about a particular cherry blend, that it didn't taste enough cherry.
Right. No, I think you're right. I mean, I think it is a lot of makeup. I think each individual chemistry has something to do with it, and I kind of envy guys like you that can enjoy this broad spectrum of things. I didn't get that gene, so.
Now, do you like a dessert after every meal? Or are you
No.
very sporadic with desserts?
No, I'm actually not a sweet eater at all.
Okay.
Very occasionally I'll have a piece of cake or something, but I never crave sweets. And my wife's the exact opposite, so that leads to some interesting times. But
now tell me, does your wife like aromatic smoke? Looks like she would.
She's funny. I've smoked some aromatics around her, and she says one of two things: either she doesn't notice the smoke, or she thinks everything smells like chocolate licorice, which is kind of funny because I've never smoked the chocolate or licorice tobacco around her. But I'm glad, because that means she's very tolerant of the things I smoke. They either don't bother her, or she tells me don't smoke that one anymore, and we're good. Yeah.
When somebody loves you, what you're doing, they're not going to necessarily absolutely hate from you. You know what I mean? It's
right.
One of the things.
Yep. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. Believe it or not, we're getting pretty close to turning it over for questions. But I wanted to get into one more thing before we do.
Sure.
I wanted to talk a bit about YouTube and why YouTube and you know, what made you start making videos?
Let's see. What made me start making videos? Wow, I have to get in the Wayback Machine on that one. Let's see. I guess because having a big family like I do, well, like I did. I say like I did because I only have 2 children home now. But it produced in me I had to have a massive drive to make money. I had to do that. I mean, it was demanded of me. You know, it was, you know, my inner being said, it's time to go to work. And it made it where I didn't have very many friends. I never had a lot of friends, you know, because I was always busy working. I had a lot of customers that I worked for and a lot of, you know, people that I knew, but nobody to really talk to. So I sometimes wonder, you know, I guess I could sit down and do a psychoanalysis of myself. I sometimes wonder if that's why I do it, because all of us pipe smokers are recluses at some degree.
Yep.
And we do like to associate ourselves with people with like minds, you know. And I guess maybe that's why I do it, because you know, I guess we all have a need like that of some degree.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a fair answer. So when I was introducing you, I used some words to describe your channel that were along the lines of honest, thought-provoking, and possibly provocative. You talk about a wide range of things on your channel. It's not just pipes and tobacco. What is it that, you know? How do you decide what you're going to talk about? What's your thought process behind making a video?
Well, you know, there's an old comedian's joke that goes like this. One guy asked a comedian, where do you come up with your material? And the comedian just laughed, you know, because hey, where does this stuff come from, you know? I'm a carpenter, and at this point in my life, my boys are all gone. They all got their jobs. They all got their lives. Half my girls are gone, I work by myself, and I don't have anybody to talk to, and I got these thoughts that run through my mind, and I'll jot them down in my little book. And what I used to do, write much of that when I first got my little book here, but now it's like I kind of rather just wing it. I'd rather just hit record. Sometimes my best videos, I think all my best videos, work out best when I sit my camera up in front of me and I pause a little bit. I know I'm thinking about what I'm going to say, but then I immediately say, no, I don't want to even do that. I want to hit record, just let it come. And if it turns out to be a major disaster, I'll have to redo it. But I don't do much of the take 2 type stuff.
Right.
Even some of my little crazy imitations that I do, I think I only did one that had to take a second take, you know, because it just came. I don't know where it comes from. But I must say, you know, all of us are influenced by somebody. Matches was my big influence, really. Mutton Chop was always great to watch because he was always there, you know. Right. And always got some kind of advice to throw out there, you know. And that was probably my biggest couple there that I watched. And they had plenty of videos and made plenty of videos, you know.
Yep. So. Yeah. No, I appreciate what you said about that, you know, just turning on the camera and winging it, because I do that sometimes. Usually the videos I put out on Wednesday are that style. I don't really put a lot of thought into them. And I find that to be really therapeutic. It's almost like going into therapy, or psychoanalysis, where you just say what's on your mind, and you don't get immediate feedback, but you eventually do. Do you are there ever videos that you finish and you say, I ain't gonna post that?
Oh wow. I don't think I've ever done that.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty conscious of what I do. Some people, they'll write a comment and then delete the comment, and I've never understood that, because I take a little bit more thought than that. When I leave a comment, it's kind of like a debate. Just about you got to cover every basis of argument in a comment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, you're never ashamed of posting that comment.
Right.
So it's not like, well, I don't usually go back and say I need to retract this or that, or these things are my thoughts, and I'm happy with my thoughts, and that's what I like to watch about other people. I love to watch people that say what's on their mind, and that's the greatest thing about pipe smokers. We think deeper than most, I believe, because we slow our minds down, because we're just geared back, and we're able to have a clear thought that's not bouncing around like most of our lives and our daily work makes our mind bounce around from one thing to the other, be more efficient, do the next job, all the rest of it that happens in a day's time. And so if you can keep your mind and hold it in a calm state, and write a comment or do a video in a methodical way, even while you're doing it, you have to go back and delete a lot. I've never done it. I don't know, maybe you could say I should have done
No.
it.
No, I was just curious. Just wondering. I mean, I'll admit I probably had two that, and this was when I was doing these driving videos where I just talk while I was driving home, and I got home to edit the thing, and I just thought, I probably shouldn't. But it's only happened maybe twice.
Okay, all right. Now that's one thing I hate doing. I hate editing.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, even if I'm just editing some text on the screen, links in the description, I can't stand doing that. I'm a shoot it and go. It's just like maintenance on a pipe, or cleaning a pipe after you get done.
Yeah.
Or changing filters out. I like the way tobacco tastes with a filter in it. I really do. It tastes like it's been stoved or aged. It takes the harsh edge off of it. But I can't stand keeping up with a filter. Keeping up with when it needs to be changed and all the rest of it. I don't know.
Right.
It's just me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. All right, Greg. So if it's okay with you, we'll see if the folks in the chat have any questions for you.
Okay, sure.
All right, guys. So this is if you got questions for Greg, this would be the time to get him in there. And there's about a 30-second delay, so it'll take a little bit of time for them to start showing up.
Are you on video, Mike? I don't see you.
I hope I am.
Okay.
I should be. No one's told me I'm not, so.
Am I a pipe collector?
Are you a pipe collector? Are there other items you collect? And what motorcycles do you ride?
I ride a Yamaha Striker now. I rode a Honda 1100 for a few years. Had two of them back to back, and those bikes had two two things that I swore I would have on a pipe from the moment that I bought them. That was no spokes and no chain. And this striker doesn't have spokes, but it does have a belt drive. The Hondas they were shaft driven, and with a shaft driven bike, I have found there is no, when you accelerate, there is no play, there is no bump of power to the back wheel. It's like it is geared. It's constant gears going straight to that back tire. So you end up with that slight lag. Now, as far as a pipe collector, no, I don't consider myself a pipe collector. Most of my pipes are pipes that I bought on eBay auctions, the shorter pipes that I bought on eBay auctions. That was back when I was trying to find pipes that a pipe that would work for me. You know, I was thinking, well, maybe it's just a pipe issue, and until I just got down to it, I said I don't want a hot bowl, and I don't want that bowl of smoke being in my face. And when I figured that out, I knew what I was looking for. And that's when I went to long pipes. But I'm not saying, you know, just the other day I got a mortar pipe. It was a short pipe. It's called a hammer. And I always did like that shape. And there's a lot of shapes of short pipes that I really love. And I'm not saying I'm getting, you know, I've been smoking for probably about 2 years in a 2 bowl or 3 bowl a week type smoke. And I'm getting used to learning smoking methods of how to keep that bowl smoke away, you know.
Right.
When I found that original long stem pipe, I was smoking that about once every 3 months. I had to be in a state of mind to enjoy smoking a pipe. I had to have all my work caught up. I had to have a bank account looking good. All these things that comforts us guys. I had to have all that to smoke. Now I smoke just to gear me into that gear.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, gotcha. I'm going to combine 2 questions here. Hoppin' and Piper is asking, what is your favorite aromatic? And then Tim Fournier wants to know if you consider Cavendish to be aromatic, black Cavendish.
You know, yeah, black Cavendish. I got into a discussion with Tom one time on his comment thread, and he acted as if a lot of people don't consider black Cavendish an aromatic, and I said, and I remember telling him, I didn't know there was a dispute about it. I said, well, isn't black Cavendish, the additives and all that's in it, doesn't that immediately classify it as an aromatic? And he said, well, you know, there's a dispute about it. I'm not going to get into it. You know, he's very diplomatic.
Right,
and,
right.
I'm not too diplomatic. And so, yeah, I didn't know that there was a big question about that. I don't know what the process is for a black Cavendish. I don't know. Apparently, the black Cavendish isn't topped. That would immediately classify it as an aromatic, right?
If it is topped, right?
Okay. So most black Cavendishes are pressed and steamed, and what else happens to a black Cavendish to make it a black Cavendish?
I don't know. I think that's it. I think it's pressed and steamed and maybe aged.
Yeah.
And then if it's topped, it becomes an aromatic. But I could be wrong, Greg. I'm far from an expert on this.
Yeah.
I just ask the questions. I don't know the
As
answers.
far as my favorite aromatic, oh golly, of course, you know the Prince Albert always flips a switch in me, but the Captain Black Dark is really good to me. And one thing about the Captain Blacks, that people have terrible experience with them because they're so wet and goopy, That is not the case if you buy it in the 10-ounce jug, you know, the little cylinder thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It is amazing to me how different they can be, and you know, one's a cherry and the other one's a cherry, and they're both cat and black cherries, but one is, you put it on a plate or something, and it just slowly moves like molasses, and the other is perfect. I mean, the moisture content is absolutely perfect, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yes, I am married, and I have 7 children. Yeah, we home birthed them all and homeschooled them all. Some of the younger ones went to public school a little bit when they were older. One of them got out of public school at 16. He couldn't stand that, not for being homeschooled. And then he went straight to the community college and took entrance exam, jumped in that, and went on with his college stuff. My 10-year-old's my third son was 10 years old, and he had leukemia, and we homeschooled him all the way up to 16. He went straight into community college, and one of them that did that is a electrical engineer, and Zach is a mechanical engineer, the one that had cancer, and he's 22 now, and I talked to him today, and it looks like he's going to be probably one of the youngest engineers. I can't say a lot about it, but on one of the submarines at the shipyard in Newport News. Yeah. So and my oldest son, he's a nuclear engineer, and went and got his master's in mathematical finance, and he lives up around north of Durham. So I've got some children scattered around. One girl's a nurse, and all those girls got a master or concentration in history, and Jenna is here at the house. She's 18 now, and she's autistic. She's our youngest one, and she's the one that brings old parents some smiles.
Yeah.
The girl just above her is Heather. She's 20 now, and she's 20. She just turned 21, and she's in college for her chemistry degree.
Wow.
That's how it's going. Yep, I am married with children.
That's fantastic.
And my wife is an awesome lady, y'all. I'll tell you what, we all have faults, but geez, what a homeschooling dynamo she was.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And this is what makes homeschoolers pretty much powerhouses. First of all, they are parents, and they care more about a child than anybody else can in the world. And with my wife, she gave my children a love for learning. And that right there, if you don't build up a law to a child to learning, that love for learning will just run through their whole lives. And it is awesome. It is awesome to watch. It really is. I sit back sometime and my jaws drop. Because during those years, I was just out mowing lawns as hard as I could, pay the bills,
Yeah.
And there was everything. Our whole future and their whole future would be made at the house, and I was out mowing grass. I'm kind of ashamed of that, but anyway. But I was telling my wife, or I was telling some of my children, I said, if you get my drive and hard work ethic, along with your mom's book sense and patience to patiently endure, then you can. That patient endurance is going to carry you a long ways through your college years and a lot of jobs that you do, and that sort of thing. Now my two younger boys, they are Boy Scout, Eagle Scouts, and there was a lot of back and forth with the Boy Scouts and like camping out with them and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that taught them also how to stand up in front of crowds and speaking because in that troop it was a troop-led troop, I guess they call it a member-led troop, and the scoutmaster, he just sit back and let them do all the ceremony type stuff, and you had to take your turn being the master of the ceremony type thing. So everybody had to get up there in front of the crowd and speak, that sort of thing. So that did them a lot of good, I must say. We did that. Really. Yeah,
that's great. Okay, we're almost out of time, Greg. There's been several questions, and they're all revolving around what's the worst aromatic you've ever smoked. So folks are asking, have you had Captain Black Grape? Have you had Largo Menthol, which apparently are blends that...
Oh, gosh, I've never had Largo Menthol. Really. or John. No, I've never had a menthol. The grape was a lot like the Suplift coconut and almond. Both of them had this awesome smell. This tin oak was great. Coconut and almond, you smell that, and it was like you were smelling a almond joy. The grape, the Captain Black Grape was like you were smelling a knee-high grape back when you were a boy. But neither one of them had they didn't have any kind of resemblance at all when they were smoked. I mean, it was like the biggest letdown that I ever had. So that would probably be two of the worst aromatics. Yeah.
Okay, well, that answered several questions, so that's perfect. All right, Greg. Well, it's just about 9 o'clock, so I think we're gonna call this one. I really appreciate you taking the time out. It's been a great deal of fun chatting with you, and hopefully you enjoyed it, and I know the folks in the chat sure did.
Well, thanks for having me, Mike, for sure. And I must say, this has been like speaking in front of all your own superheroes back when you were a boy. Really, I've been looking at the chat like, man, these people are people I respect. I'd love to see these guys on your show. So it's been great. Thank you. I'll talk to you later then, hey?
All right, thank you. You have a good evening and a great weekend.
All right, bye all.
Bye now, Greg. Well, folks, hope you enjoyed that, getting to know Greg a bit better. I had a good time. All right, Hobbit and Piper, thanks much, buddy. Sutliff Frosty Mint. XJ, that just scares me. Yeah, Greg did fantastic. He was definitely a great guest. And guys, there's room on the list, so you know, if you want to join me sometime, it's not difficult. It's not nothing to worry about. Just a simple chat. Drop me an email, CaneRodPiper@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to put you on the list. And I think we're out to August at this point, so you got plenty of time to worry about it. You know, even if you got in touch today, it's not going to be until August. So, yeah, Tim, I'm sorry I didn't ask specifically about Captain Black Diet Mountain Dew. And by the way, I always forget to say this, but if you're interested in Greg and you liked what you heard here, you'll love his channel. There's a link down below in the description to Greg's YouTube channel. Get over there, give him a sub, and watch some of his videos. He makes really good videos. The perfect video to sit back and light up a pipe and enjoy with someone. Thank you, Stonehenge Minstrel. Volunteer Piper, I'm going to take your word for that Largo menthol thing there. Well, Professor Walker, you could be easily booked. Just send me an email. St. David Pipe, same for you. Doug Owen, how you doing, Doug? Oh yeah, we're looking forward to June 25th too. I'm glad you're busy. That's great news. Doug will be a guest June 25th, so something to look forward to. Arliss Tarleton, hello there. Great to see you. We had a really good turnout tonight. I appreciate you guys all showing up to show Greg some hospitality. You're too shy. Come on, Curtis. You can do it. Glad you enjoyed it, St. David Pipes. Yeah, Jim, we got to just start poking him. He'll eventually give in. Oh, thanks, Stonehenge Minstrel. I'm glad you enjoyed that. And I think there's going to be another video this Monday. It's not a pipe restoration. It's something a little bit different. So you guys will have to let me know what you think of it. Michael Case. That's a different kind of booking. Nah, Tim, June 11th is going to be great. Well, Steve, if that happens, you might want to call first so you don't get shot. That's all I'm saying. Shamo Runner, I'm glad you joined us for the first time, and we do this every Friday, so please feel free to check back in. We alternate. Next week will just be a solo live stream, and the week after that we'll have another guest. So, feel free to join us. We'd love to have you. Hey Gary, yeah, I appreciate you watching the rerun as much as catching the live stream. It's fantastic. Book 'em Dano. There you go, Duck. Dude, Rustica, we'd have a great time if you can commit to the. I know you often have to work on when the show's on, but if you could commit to it, we'd have a really good time. I'm sure, Steve. All right, pipe time. Go take care of that dog. You have a good evening and a great weekend, buddy. Good night, St. David Pipes. And you also have a great weekend. I'm old enough, Doug. One of my favorite shows. Used to watch it with my dad. I remember being a little kid getting all excited when I saw that big wave come on. We're all old. You got it, Clarence. So I told you I wanted to tell you a bit more about what I was smoking earlier. So I found this bag of Sutliff. No. You know what? I gotta check it. I think it was Stokeby. Let's double check this. Yeah. So it's Peter Stokeby Norwegian blend. And it was dry as could be. I don't remember where I got it from. I don't know how long I've had it, but it was like a 2-ounce sample. So I rehydrated it and smoked it, and it was surprisingly good. It's Virginias and Orientals, and it's got some really nice sweetness to it. The Orientals are nice and smoky, and they're just very, very pleasant. But it was all kind of high notes, and I was missing, because being a burley guy, I was missing that deep burley flavor. So I got some cube cut burley and just mixed up like 1 bowl's worth, 50-50 cube cut burley and the Stokeby, and it was good. I really liked it a lot. And I was working away the other day and decided I wanted to have some more of that. So I reached over and grabbed what I thought was the cube cut burley, but was actually some Sir Walter Raleigh. And I was feeling lazy, so I thought, oh, let's just see what happens with this. And it is fantastic. 50-50 mix of the Stokeby Norwegian mixture and the Sir Walter Raleigh is just a phenomenally good smoke. It's got all that deep, nutty, burly stuff going on, but it's got this sweetness riding over the top of it and lots of smokiness from the Orientals. I really like this a lot. I'm not going to suggest you go out and buy the 2 blends and try it, but I probably will never have it again once I run out of this, but it's surprisingly good. Oh, Mick and Professor Walker, sorry I missed you guys signing off. You take care, have a good weekend, and we'll talk soon. Oh, thank you, Timber Drifter. I'm glad you've enjoyed them, and that's kind of the point. I wanted to give guys a chance to get a broader audience and just get to know folks. Because when we sit down and turn the camera on, even if we're taking the approach that Greg and I were talking about, where it's just letting it roll, you still don't necessarily get to know the real person. So pinning them down and making them answer questions for a half an hour probably doesn't do that either, but it gives you a bit more of a, I hate to use the word intimate, but personal view of the individual. Yeah, Doug, Jack Lord had a bit of a complex, I believe. But he was good in that show. I liked his car too. It was it's a Mercury Marquis. I think that's right. Beautiful car. Exactly, Scott. My laziness paid off. It's about time. Oh, really, Timber Drifter? So you do the same. That's pretty cool. And it is surprisingly good. All right, Mr. Script, thanks for joining us, buddy. You have a good night and a great weekend. Oh, here comes the rain again. It's like on cue. You got a 3-day weekend, it's gonna rain. Yeah, Michael Case. I talked to Ben a while back, and he's decided to take his videos down. Just no particular reason. Just life got busy, and he doesn't have the time to keep up with it. Yes, Tim, like a new emotion. I'm gonna blame you for that. Patrick, you're getting it there too. Yeah, I think it's the whole East Coast is gonna, or at least the Northeast. Oh, Piper on the 45. That's always a bad thing for my dogs do it too. At least the dachshund doesn't have the leaping. the the bee can accelerate up. Our dogs chase. We have a lot of carpenter bees around the house, and our dogs, those are big, um, and they just kind of float there, and oh, the dogs think they're floating treats. I don't think they've gotten one yet, but they sure try. Hopefully you didn't get too soaked with that, Scott. Yeah, Timber Drifter, I think he's in a real good place. Definitely happy with that new job, but just busy. And that happens. We all get busy. You got to expect that. It's funny when I look at my feed, my videos of folks I've subscribed to. Um, I don't think any of the people that I watched, well, with one exception, the only person that's still around that I started watching before I started making videos would be Northwest Pipe Smoker. I don't think there are many others. Mark Bama Guitar Dude, who I had on a few weeks ago, he started around the same time as me, as did Padre Piper. But I don't think there's anybody else that was on before that. And forgive me if I'm forgetting somebody. But the point I'm trying to make is that this happens. There's this constant turnover. But the wonderful thing about it is that there's always new folks, and despite people pulling out, the community is still getting bigger and bigger all the time. So it's a good thing. Oh, dude, Rustica. For God's sake, keep that tie on. Oh, yeah. Oh, Scott, that's terrible. Those yellow jackets just keep stinging. Yeah, Doug. Although apparently Pennsylvania is missing out on the big cicada swarm. The what is it? Brood X is supposed to be coming up this year. I haven't seen a cicada or heard a cicada yet. Okay, Scott. I apologize. I did not know that you were out for a while. And apparently Tim's job is just to get old songs stuck in my head. Songs that I don't want stuck in my head. Yeah, Tom is doing great with the new hip. That was really good to see, Michael. You're getting hit with the rain too, Tim? Yeah, Timber Drifter, I left you out as well. My apologies, but yeah, not many left at all. And there's various reasons for that, and that's fine. And I don't know if a lot of those guys are watching now and just have stopped making videos, or if they've just left. But I've always thought it's interesting that the subscription count doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. I look at the number of subscribers I have, and I look at the number of views I have, and they're order of magnitude apart. And it's just because the people subscribe and then they disappear, and that subscription never goes away. But yet there seems to be more and more YTPC videos. So despite that turnover, we're still growing, and that's really a good thing. All right, Scott, you have a great weekend and a good night tonight. Sorry you got to get into work early tomorrow. Cold in Rochester today, huh, Couch? We were in the 60s today. Cooled off quite a bit. Oh, you're getting pounded with cicadas. Okay, Tim. You'll have to forgive me. For some reason, I can't keep the 17 conversation straight. I apologize for that. Oh, it's funny, Jim. That's funny. So much rain, he saw an old dude gathering up animals 2 by 2. Yeah, you would think, Timber Drifter. Seems like pipe smoking is doing okay. No, Michael Case, your patent is only on rainy weekends. The holiday part we can all get a bit of. What is this? JBHD. Yeah, Ganjuana, I agree. Not that you're. I don't agree about your videos. I agree that I wish those guys were still making videos, but Yeah, there's other guys, and in time they'll be as good. Ah, sorry about that, XJ. That's always a pain. Yeah, Steve, it seems pretty common. Pretty common that we get rain on Memorial Day. Memorial Day weekend. And I guess that's got to do with that transition from spring to summer and all that stuff. But there's really no such thing as bad weather. There's just weather. If it's too hot, it will eventually be too cold. If it's too cold, it will eventually be too hot. Yeah, I guess hurricanes and tornadoes, you could call those bad weather, but we can't control it. We might as well just let it be. Oh, Michael Case, I'm sorry to hear that. And it's hard to get good white shoe polish. Whether or not you agree, indeed. Michael, you just sparked a memory for me, thinking back to being in Catholic grade school. And, for some reason, when you get these textbooks that are issued by the state, and for some reason, as kids, you just have to draw on the sides of the pages, the edges of the book. And at the end of the year, we used to get in a lot of trouble for that. So we had to try to erase it. And if erasing didn't work, we took white shoe polish and ran it around the, it was the white shoe polish that came in that sponge top applicator. And we'd run it around the edges of the book to try to cover up the writing. You'd think after the first time we'd learn not to write on the edges of the pages, but we kept doing it. Yes, Tim, that would be bad weather. We're going to have some fun when you come on, Tim. Shoe renovating polish. All right, XJ, you have a good one. Thanks for joining us tonight. There's a new whiter white. Barium white is whiter than titanium white. Wow. That's wait, I'm thinking back to ceiling paint now, where we had to choose a ceiling paint, and there were all these little white cards, and I'm looking at them, and they're white cards. What do you want me to do? And of course, they were. Yeah, if you put them right on top of one another, you might say this one's a little bit darker than that one, but you're not going to do that. They're going to be up on the ceiling. They're white. That wasn't a popular opinion to have. All right, JMZ. Thank you. You have a great and safe weekend yourself there. Good, Tim. We're going to need that. Timber Drifter, the best way is you could email me, but unfortunately I'm so backed up right now, I'm not taking any new orders, and it's going to be like that for a couple of months, I'm afraid. But yeah, you can email me at CaneRodPiper@gmail.com. 99% reflective, wow. That would be a nice ceiling paint then, Michael. Bounce the light back down. Barry ain't one. Yes, Piper on the 45. I know exactly what you're talking about. All right, Kilted Piper, Steve, and Miss Kathy, you have a good evening and a great weekend as well, my friends. It's great to see you. Tobacco Pipes International. All right, take care. Great evening and a good weekend, Mark. Thanks for joining us tonight. And I guess I'm going to need to wrap things up in about 2 minutes. So I'm back on track this week. Yes, don't forget the veterans this weekend, and certainly the many folks that I just dropped my glasses. The many folks that have paid a price for our freedom. So it's extremely important. Thank you, Clarence, for bringing that up. What we thought was beige. Oh, Doug, that would not be nice. You think you're getting beige and you get light pink. That would not be good at all. All right, Timber Drifter, we'll touch base when I'm opening up again. All right, Greg, thank you very much, buddy. It was great to have you on here, and I appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say. Well, guys, with that, next Friday it'll be solo me. So hope you come back and join us for that. I will try very hard to do a video this Sunday. I know it's shaping up to be a busy weekend, so thanks for the reminder, Michael, but I'll do my best. Hopefully I'll be able to get something out in the early morning on Sunday. So I want to thank you all for joining me. High point of my week. Really enjoyed it, had a great time, and I appreciate you all being a part of it. And thanks again to our guest, Greg, for taking the time out to join us. All right, guys, well, until we speak again, you all have a great weekend and take care of yourselves.